is how we like to communicate our thoughts and feelings, stories that can make you relate. And we talk to some cool people we met on the way. So thanks for tuning in. We hope that you like your stay.
Hey, I'm Hannah.
Hi, I'm Mel.
Hey, I'm Tameka.
And welcome to another episode of the GIRLSTUFF podcast. Today we have a not so familiar face, but kind of familiar face on our podcast today. Tameka, instead of me telling everyone about you, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, my name is TAMEKA Griffiths. I am an up-and-coming actor, I'll say. I've had a lot of fun experiences in the last, maybe 2 years in regards to acting. Right now, I'm actually in Halifax shooting something, so that's been fun. But in the meantime, when I'm not acting, I actually work at a nursing home. And obviously, with the state of the world, it's been a little bit more challenging than it usually would be. But yeah, I've been learning a lot and just trying to take in every experience as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think COVID has really shown everyone to just take any opportunity that kind of unfolds in front of you. Because my friend and I were joking, we're like, why didn't we go to those concerts in 2019? Why did we say wait till 2020? And now we're like, anything that comes, we're like, you want to go? Yes, let's do it, kind of thing. So definitely taking opportunities, and I'm just acknowledging what you do have and kind of taking it and moving on. Speaking of quarantine and COVID, is there anything that you got to do this year or within the last 18 months because of quarantine and otherwise would not have had the time to actually do?
One thing that I definitely got into was YouTube, workouts. So
okay, yeah.
Workout challenges and dance workouts are a thing on YouTube. So anytime a song comes out, there's a dance workout that goes with it. And there's this girl, she's actually from Toronto too, and her YouTube handle thing is Mad Fit, and she has the most fun dance workouts ever. So that was my thing.
She just dropped the Julie and the Phantoms one, which is what I've been doing, and I was like, this girl, she's in it for the hit workout, and I'm just sitting there dying. I'm like, oh my god. So speaking of YouTube, were there any shows or movies that you kind of got into during quarantine that you binge watched or anything like that?
At the beginning, I remember two very distinctly. Ozark was one of them, and I never, I'm not really into, crime shows that much. More into true crime, but this is a scripted, show.
Yeah.
I loved Ozark. And then another one was Desperate Housewives, and I can't believe I never watched Desperate Housewives in my life, but it was so good. It's my favorite thing now. I've already finished it, but Desperate Housewives was amazing to me.
Okay. And were there any shows you rewatched? So something that you used to watch all the time, but kind of fell back in love with?
Maybe not shows, but movies. I got a Disney Plus account, and I'm a big Disney person. I love Disney so much, so I watched a lot of Disney movies.
Which is the best way to spend quarantine, in my opinion. I mean, especially the old time, Cinderella, OG Cinderella movies and stuff like that. I'm here for it. So we talked a little bit about how you are an aspiring actress. You're kind of just getting into the field and making a mark in the world. So what inspired you to begin acting?
I've always really liked performance arts. It's not really something that I saw as a viable career, but I do love trying a whole bunch of different things. I remember wanting to be a pediatrician. I remember wanting to be a vet. But there are so many things that, I said, I wanted to pursue, but it didn't really stick for me. It didn't really feel like it was something that I was going to be happy with long term, because I'm going to want to switch to something else. So with that, when I experienced acting for the first time in middle school and then later on in high school, I recognized that it was something that would be more versatile in that sense, where I could, maybe for a month I'm this person, but then next month I'm going to be someone.
Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite thing about acting that keeps you in that kind of field itself?
The character is there, but you can make the decisions for this person and for their world, much like you can do for yourself, but like in a set situation, it's a lot more fun to see who you can make this person into and present that to the world or present that to whoever, you know.
Yeah. And do you have any secrets as to how you get into the role of your characters?
So I went to school, like post-secondary. I was in an acting program, and writing things out about your character became really important to me. So why would this person say something the way they said it, or who was this person before the scene, or you know, at what point in this person's life did this happen? So just creating an entire world outside of the scene or outside of, you know, what you see on the show is very important.
Yeah, and I think it helps also the audience connect with the character, because you're able to portray like a human being pretty much, and not just someone on a script. They're actually a person that you can find yourself in one way or another, right? So yeah, so you know, like we talked about earlier, you know, you are in Netflix's Ginny and Georgia. And before we dive into your role with Ginny and Georgia, we do want to play a game with you. So Mel will take it from here.
We have 15 lines from the show, and I'll be giving you a line, and you have to tell me the character or the actor. Doesn't matter. Okay, the first line I have for you is, I quit being a mom, the hours are long, and the pay sucks.
I think that was Ellen.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say Georgia. I'm glad I said Ellen.
I think you're the first person who immediately said Ellen.
Really?
Okay, the next line is, fall in a ditch.
That was Max. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the next one is, we're like the penguins. We can't fly, but maybe we can learn to swim.
I know that was between Georgia and Zion. I just don't know who. I'm gonna say Zion.
No.
No,
is the other one.
Oh man.
Okay, the next one is, no pants, no dare.
That was the sophomore sleepover. Okay, I know that Abby was there to take her pants off or switch pants.
Hey, you know what though? You know the scene, which is huge.
Who said it to her? I think maybe Colton's character said it to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting extra points with the whole scene, and then even getting the person who said it. Nice. Okay, the next one is, she asked me for weed, she wasn't that friendly.
Marcus.
Yeah. Okay, she's killing this game. I'm here for this.
The next one is, cool people don't say they're cool.
Nora? No? Oh, man.
Close, though.
Max?
Closer, I guess.
Okay, Abby. No?
One more.
The other one of
Who's Ginny then? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, the next line is, your mom sort of scares me.
Max? No. Marcus?
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was Hunter.
Oh. Okay, I see that.
Okay, this next one I feel like is an easy one. That's such a bummer, there are no good gays here.
Max.
The next one is, through the lens is how the world makes sense to me.
Ginny.
Close.
Georgia?
Closer.
Oh, Zion! He's a...
It's actually funny. I don't think anyone has actually gotten that line. Like, for some reason, it stumps people.
That's funny.
We got one photographer on the show, guys. The next one is, you're amazing, you're the best, and I'm just over it.
Oh, that's kind of a hard one. I kind of want to say Abby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the passive aggressiveness. This gets it.
Yeah.
The next one is, unless your name is Jesus, I don't think your birthday counts as a holiday.
Someone said that to Max, I feel. Was it Damien? Press? No?
No.
Was it Ginny?
Yes.
Okay, the next one is, happy Friday.
That's Hunter.
I love how everybody's like
Everyone.
rolling their eyes or doing something. The next one is, I will not be doing that.
Abby.
Close.
Nora?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we got two more. Indifference is the best revenge.
Max.
Close.
Ginny. Okay.
Okay, and the last one is a tricky one, but it's also a fun one. It's just, ah.
Marcus?
Yes. Okay.
Now that we played a little game with you about Ginny and Georgia, you played Bracia, the captain of the field hockey team and someone who tries to befriend Ginny. How did you get the role and what was the audition process like?
I think I auditioned in June. I think a few people had self-tape auditions, but I had an in-person audition. And it was one of my first auditions after a long stretch of not auditioning. I don't know why that was, but I was so excited for it. And I had been sitting in the waiting room for like the longest time. And I remember taking pictures on my phone for Instagram just because I was so excited. When I was in the audition room, like I had my lines down and everything was perfect, but I messed up a little bit with my voice. And because of that mess up, I thought that I just didn't get it. But I was still really optimistic. And then it was probably like a day or two later that I heard that I got the part. And I was so excited. I think initially it was just supposed to be one episode, if I'm remembering correctly. So I was really excited to be called back a couple more times. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like your character had like not like a lot of scenes, but the scenes that you were in were like very important.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. From a viewer's point, what would you say was your favorite episode to watch?
You know what? Sophomore sleepover was really cool because that's not something that I ever experienced in high school, and just that whole experience, it just felt so fun. Like it was kind of like a prom or like a dance or something like that feeling, but obviously it was a sleepover, so the idea of that was just so cool to me. And then just seeing Marcus and Ginny like have that intimate kind of quiet moment with each other was really nice. I also went to that particular school for swimming lessons, so it was just cool to see the school in a different like setting. Cool.
That's fun.
I know.
So I already gave you some lines, but what would you say was your favorite line from the show, whether it's your own or someone else's?
Austin is so cute. He said something like, "Mom, I hate it when you chew loudly," or something like that. at the dinner table with his family, and I don't know, he just got so upset. I just think that's so funny. I don't know. When I watched it, I was dying. It was funny.
That's so cute. Um, who would you say is your favorite character from the show?
I feel like she's everyone but Max. She just has such a huge personality and just so charismatic. And in meeting Sarah, like, I don't know, it just made me gravitate towards the character because I know that she's like a sweet person in person. So yeah.
You already mentioned that you weren't in as much episodes as were like put out, but do you have a favorite memory from sets, like a memorable funny moment?
Mm. When I was on set, I think we all wanted to eat together, and the tables were small, so just pushing tables together so that we could all eat together. I thought that was cute. That was very sweet, and I like that.
Have you do you have like any wishes what you want to see in season 2 now that we know we're getting a season 2?
Oh, I really want to know where Ginny and Austin went. Like, I need to know wh- what was going through her mind and where she just had to take off and take her brother to. I think that people have their own speculations and everything, but I need to know what they come up with in the writers' room, and I want to see it all pan out.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, oh, I think there's a lot to unpack with what Ginny's gonna do next, because there's so much that happens. But kind of going back into your role as Bracia, you know, the scenes, and I've mentioned this, and Mel has kind of said this, the scenes that Bracia was in really do set the tone on various conversations that don't tend to be had on media and in person at times, right? From, the teacher being racist and just not really holding it back, but also Bracia trying to be like, I'm here for you, I'm your friend if you need it. How was it like portraying a character like that who's just trying to be there and trying to help the new student pretty much?
Mm, I'm really proud to have played Gracia because I feel like she is such a strong and confident person at her young age,
Mm-hmm.
being in high school. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I
Yeah.
definitely needed someone like that, which is like where the pride and happiness comes in for, them seeing that in me and being able to portray
Yeah.
that. Um, and just like hearing what Gracia was saying and applying that to different parts of my life and seeing, where I could be a person of that caliber now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
even though I'm not in high school and I'm not, in
Yeah.
a school setting. Yeah, it was really important to me to see that play out on screen, and it's really important that other people saw that as well. So, yeah, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
really grateful for the experience.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people have mentioned, like a lot of my friends and just a lot of people online have mentioned how like nice it was to see that portrayed, right? Because it doesn't tend to be shown. It doesn't tend to be something, Netflix would even put out. Sorry, Netflix, I love you guys, but it's not like the actual stream of content they tend to produce, right? So there's definitely a lot of back and forth with Junie and Georgia. There's a lot of conversations happening, but it did receive a ton of insane reception from the audience. Being number one for so long, people are continuously still talking about it and still trying to see what's coming next. Did you ever expect this type of reaction? How did it feel for you to have that, as this is like one of the first roles that you had in a few years?
I feel like when we did have conversations on set, whether that be with the cast or the crew or, when the first season wrapped and we had the wrap party, I think everyone knew that it was something very special. But, for the creator, it was her first ever show. And like, we know that it's something great, but imagine you doing something for the first time and it's like number one in the world. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that feeling? So it's been really incredible to again see how
Yeah.
well it's been received all over the world.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, to me personally, I'm like seeing something like that and knowing it's in Toronto, and I'm like from Toronto, I'm like, it feels like it's another like Degrassi type of feel where I mean, the joke is that something is filmed in Toronto based on who's in the show, and they've probably either been on The Next Step or Degrassi, because that tends to be how it works. But, did you grow up watching Degrassi or anything like that? And you did get to film with people from Degrassi,
Yeah.
so how did that feel for you if you did watch
It
Degrassi?
was cool. I wasn't like completely into Degrassi because there was a point, like a very long stretch of time that I was watching Degrassi, but like for me, if I miss one episode of something, I just can't get back.
You have to erase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time that I was watching Degrassi, it was like, it's like the episode comes out every Thursday or whatever. If
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't get back into it. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. I think that everyone that's been on Degrassi, I have a friend actually, like a friend outside of the show who's
Okay.
I thought that was just really cool. But based on what I've seen, they're all very talented, and I'm just like, I feel so proud to be a part of a project with some of these people.
Yeah. So let's kind of take it out of acting and Ginny and Georgia and stuff like that, and I want to talk just some more about like how you go through specific situations when it comes to just life and your career. You're also working in a nursing home as well, so definitely there's a lot of like pressure that comes with just all the different aspects of your life. Is there something that you do to help kind of alleviate that pressure or keep yourself grounded as you keep going through different situations and obstacles that come your way?
Oh, well, like I mentioned before, exercise has become increasingly important to me, not just for like the physical benefits. I know that people say this all the time, but like it's really great for your mental health as well. And obviously with the pandemic, a lot of people have been struggling with their mental health. And I was one of those people. And so, finding a way to move your body, like it doesn't have to be like formal exercise or whatever, but I think that that's really, really great. And it's really been beneficial for me. And so that's one thing that I turn to. Being creative in other ways. I really used to love singing, so kind of getting back into that and just doing that for myself and doing it for my own personal satisfaction. I love reading, binge watching shows.
Yeah.
I have 2 young nephews, and I love spending time with them. So, just regular things.
Just staying true to what gives you energy, pretty much is it. Yeah. Do you ever experience performance anxiety, in sense of like messing up, or like even you said your audition you kind of stumbled a little bit, but you still said what, that's fine, if I get it I get it. How do you kind of get to that mentality? Because I think a lot of people see, oh, I messed up, okay, well that's it, it's over, we're done, type of thing.
The anxiety is always going to be there. I'm never not anxious when I'm performing or auditioning or even doing a tape where there's like no one in the room.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be anxious about it, but knowing that I'm putting my best out there is always going to be it's going to be foundational, and it's really important to know that you're doing your best, because it would feel even worse if you didn't do your best and you gave a project or a performance that you can't be proud of because it's not up there for you. So even though you may not think it's like the greatest at the time because you're anxious or nervous or whatever, knowing that you tried as hard as you could is like super, super important.
Yeah. And I think, that kind of ties into the next question, talking about rejection and, the fact that not every opportunity ends up in a yes. Not every door that opens is actually yours. And I guess, kind of what you said is if you put your best foot forward and put your best act, like rejection, yes, it sucks, but at least you tried your best, kind of thing. What kind of motivates you to keep going even with rejections and with the no's that come in the midst of all the yeses, obviously?
So for every yes, there's probably like 100 no's. But at the same time, there's only so many casting directors here in Toronto, and even kind of like outside Toronto, if you are lucky enough to get any of those. All auditions, it's a blessing to get any audition. But
Yeah.
just seeing that these people would like to see you is so important. Because, like, if they didn't see something in you, like, yeah, maybe the last one wasn't for you, but they know that you have the capabilities. So just knowing that every audition is an opportunity that was given to you because you are capable.
Yeah. No, and I love that. I love that mindset because it then takes it back from, oh, I sucked at here, but actually, hey, you know what? Like, I might not have gotten it, but now this casting director knows who I am, or now this whoever it was whoever it was that was all at the audition knows me, and knows what I can produce, type of thing. So I love that. I love that mentality. I'm here for this. I love this. So switching gears a little bit, we kind of mentioned prior to this interview starting, that the entertainment industry is very brutal. It's very competitive, and it really sometimes you really have to go in with your elbows up to get what you want. How do you deal with the struggle of like comparing yourself to other actors or other people around the same age doing other stuff as well?
Yeah, it's difficult, and I feel like in some ways it's more amplified now than it would have been maybe 10, 15 years ago with the emergence of social media, because it's a huge part of someone's presence, and looking at comparing yourself to other people, and using social media as a tool to do that. Numbers are a huge thing. And so I feel like that could definitely be discouraging at some points. But then at the same time, outside of the numbers and the social media and everything, if I know that I'm proud of what I've done and I've made an impact with 5 people, then I'm still proud of it. I'm still really, really happy with myself. And I know that, TAMEKA from 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 10 years ago is so, so proud of what I accomplished and what I set out to do for myself. So I always go back to that, because if I'm making myself proud, then that's top tier.
Yeah, no, and I love that, and I think that's what happens, right? Is social media forces us to create these boxes that we need to fit into, but reality, it's we're all human beings. We're all doing things that we love to do, and if you're not succeeding now, you will succeed eventually. It just takes its time, and it's not like an overnight snap of the fingers, okay, now I'm famous, or snap of the fingers, now I'm doing what I love to do. It takes time and effort, and I think that's what it is make yourself proud, and that's all that matters, right? So what advice would you give someone who is wanting to kind of get into acting or into the entertainment industry? Let's say TAMEKA from 10 years ago. What advice would you kind of tell her?
For me, I definitely had to do my research. Like I said, I did do a post-secondary program focused on acting. And it was really important to me to get that foundation, because I, outside of, I guess, non-formal things, informal acting and performance and stuff, I had zero experience at all. I didn't know what the process of getting an agent would look like, or, just securing representation, period. So just getting the groundwork and basics and seeing what you have, so that you can bring that, you can start bringing that into the entertainment industry, and learning how to build on that, and just continually growing and learning and seeing where you can make connections and things like that.
Yeah, I definitely think, I'm a photographer, and so is Mel, and one of the things that I always say is, invest in yourself. You are just as important to invest in as everything else that you do, as the auditions that you have to go to and all that stuff. If you do your work and your homework kind of thing of going to classes and workshops and meeting people and connecting and researching, you'll be the best version of yourself, right? But if you don't invest in yourself, then it's kind of like a lost cause when I think of it, because you're not learning anything new, right? So let's switch into some really fun questions. These are always my favorites because we really get to know you as a person outside of your career. And this first one's always my favorite because yesterday Mason told us that it's a Toronto thing only. So I'm intrigued. What's the craziest food combination that you've ever had?
Gosh. Oh.
Apparently Vancouver's not as exciting as Toronto is when it comes to food combinations.
I think of the last time I went to the X. You know the X, right? The same.
Yes, yeah.
I think I was there like right before, like the year before quarantine.
Yes.
Did I try the bugs? I've always, maybe I have, maybe that's on my bucket list, but trying deep fried bugs.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I used to work at Montana's. You know Montana's, the
Yes.
like, grill place. I don't eat meat anymore.
Yeah.
But I had this thing called the Great Grilled Cheeseburger, and it was a grilled cheese sandwich, and then a burger, so the bun and the burger and everything, and then another grilled cheese sandwich. So it was a lot of bread, obviously, and then it was like it had the pickle spear in it and everything, so it was very like calorie dense. It was very, very rich. I did not finish it in one sitting because, like, with burgers, you get the fries and everything. I think I cut it into fours, and it was just like fried onions and like hot sauce, and it was just like this. Us three could probably not finish it in one sitting. It was huge. It was so big. I can't believe I ate that.
But was it good? I mean,
was so good. It was.
Yeah, Montana's food's not that bad. I love Montana's food. A little pricey, but it's good. But yes, Melina, we have an exhibit that comes every year in Toronto, and it's like an amusement park type of thing, but it's only for the summer. Like, it's only available, and they have like all kinds of food there. But yeah, deep fried bugs is one of them. It's interesting. We're great. We're great people here.
Well.
I'll take it. What if they open up after COVID? I'll take you when you come.
I'm definitely going. Once it opens up again, I need to try those bugs.
And I've only been once, and it was right before COVID too. And I was like, it's like kind of like Canada's Wonderland, but take it down a notch type of thing. But so speaking of, you are in Halifax right now. You live in Ontario. What's your favorite place that you've traveled to, whether it's just within Canada or around the world?
Where have I been? I've been to like a couple of the states. Before this, I went to New York. New York was a lot of fun. It's kind of like a little Toronto's like a little New York, so it's quite familiar. My family is Jamaican, so I've been to Jamaica. I love Jamaica. Okay. And I've also been to the Dominican Republic, and that was so beautiful. It was such a great experience. It was the first time traveling without. Yeah, it was the first time traveling without my family, so that was awesome. And I was so adamant about not speaking English there because it's a Spanish-speaking country, so I bought an exercise book, like a Spanish-speaking exercise book.
Okay.
So set on not speaking English, so I tried very hard to not speak English there. So just like that preparation and everything was so much fun, and like trying foods and everything. There's this mango, and it's like a breakfast dish, and it was so good. I cannot wait to go back to this. It was a lot of fun.
Are you a concert goer? Do you like to go to concerts, or are you more of like just listen in the car type of person?
Yeah, I've been to 3 concerts in my life, and like while I really enjoyed them, I'm just not a big crowd person. Like,
fair.
I don't know what it feels like after COVID. I think it would be a good experience, but like at a really big concert, because I've been to like smaller concert halls. But
okay.
It's so overwhelming to me because the music, like you can feel it, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get the chance, Budweiser stage is pretty nice to go to because it's open, so you don't have to worry about like. Yeah, it's like an open. It's like just an open, and the lawn. Not really. Like there's seats, but like it's not fully covered the way like Scotiabank is. It's like you can feel the breeze of the sun. You can see the sunset at times. Like it's beautiful. I love it. So I'm a concert goer. I'm like, sign me up. How many concerts will I go to in 2021? Let's see. Yeah.
Speaking of music, what is one artist you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of?
You know what? I really like Amy Winehouse. I think she has such a smooth voice, or had such a smooth voice, rest in peace. And like I said, I like singing. I don't think I'm the greatest singer ever, but like listening to her music and like singing along is a really great challenge for me. So I think that's part of it. I also discovered Olivia, I'm forgetting.
Rodrigo?
Yes. I discovered her literally last night because one of the YouTubers that I like was reviewing her new album. And
Okay.
yeah, I really like her too. She's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say are your top 2 favorite songs of all time?
These are the questions we use to stump people. You're more than welcome to open up Spotify or Apple Music and check.
Let me see. What was the last song I listened to? Sorry.
No problem. It's a tough one. This one's the one we wait for.
So I really like early 2000s. I was probably like 10, 5, between the ages of 5 and 10.
Yeah.
I just love the nostalgic feeling. There's a song that's just come up, and it's called Frontin', and it's by Pharrell, and Jay-Z is on that song. I love it so much. It's just such a fun song. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's like anytime it comes on, I cannot be in a bad mood. So that's definitely one of them. And another one. Oh, Omarion has a song called Touch. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one either, but it had a music video. The music video was so much fun. It was like a lot of dancing and stuff. And like I said, the nostalgia. So that's fun.
Okay, one more music question before we switch into some other questions. If you had to pick a song to play every single time you enter a room, what song would it be and why?
Ooh, I'm gonna open Spotify again. I have like my sad playlist. No, not that. Walking on Sunshine, sure. That's such a fun song. I think everyone knows that song. And I'm a fun person, so why not?
Why not? Exactly. I love it. I love the choice.
Such a good choice, too. Such a happy song. Okay, if you could switch bodies with someone for an entire day, who would you switch with?
I don't know why The Rock came to mind. I don't know. Like, how does it feel to carry around all of that muscle and be so big? And I think he's the highest paid actor, so that would be fun for a day.
Just follow yourself on your social media. Just send a DM.
Your name.
Yeah, that would be fun. The Rock. I'm settling on The Rock.
I love that. Okay, one last question that's gonna end this interview, which is my personal favorite question, is what is the most useless talent that you have?
Can I whistle anymore? I used to whistle so I can't even whistle anymore. That would have been it. Oh, you know what? Painting my dominant hand.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's useless is because, like, 9 times out of 10, once I'm finished, it gets smudged somewhere. It bothers me to no end. So like, why am I doing it by myself when I can go and get it done and not have it for like, what's the point?
But hey, but doing it, you know, your non-dominant hand painting your nails, it's hard. So that's credit right there. That's credit.
It's the journey, not the destination.
It's a journey. Well, Tameka, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us this lovely morning. We had such a great time with you and just getting to know you as a person, far beyond just you as an actress. And I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with, and continue to support you, especially with this new role that you have, that you're filming for. Because I know Halifax is beautiful, so I have a feeling it's gonna be a beautiful just film to watch in general.
And that's girl stuff.